Hey everyone, so today we're going to build your financial toolkit. We're going to break down all the essentials, how money actually grows, how you can spot a good investment from a bad one, and what's really going on with the fine print on a loan. Let's dive right in.
We've all been there, haven't we? You're staring at some new offer, a car loan, maybe even a new business idea, and you're just thinking, is this actually a good deal? It's pretty much the fundamental question behind every single financial move we make. And look, the great thing is you don't need some fancy finance degree to answer that question with confidence. What we're going to do is translate all that confusing jargon into a really practical, simple toolkit. And we're going to start with the most fundamental way money grows: interest.
All right, so that first tool in our kit, simple interest. I want you to think of this as the foundation, the ground floor that everything else is built on. It's super straightforward, it's clean, and honestly, it's the perfect place for us to start.
So, what exactly is it? Well, simple interest is just the interest you earn or pay on the original amount you invested or borrowed. That's called the principal. And that's it, full stop. The amount of interest you earn each time never, ever changes.
And the formula? Oh, it's about as easy as they come. The interest, I, is just the principal, P, times the rate, R, times the time, T. So P is your starting cash, R is that interest rate, and T is just how long we're talking about. Just those three things.
Okay, let's put some real numbers to this. Let's say Maria borrows 25,000 pesos. The annual interest rate is 12%, and she's borrowing it for 8 months. We plug those numbers into our simple little formula, and the interest, the total cost for her to borrow that money, comes out to exactly 2,000 pesos. Simple, right? But what if the interest you earn starts earning its own interest? Now that's when things get really powerful. This, my friends, is called compounding. It's the true snowball effect in finance. So here's the game changer. With compounding, you're not just earning interest on your initial chunk of money. No, you're earning interest on the whole pile, the original principal plus all the interest that it's already racked up. This is where the magic really starts to happen. So you really got to think about the type of growth here. Simple interest is just a straight, predictable line. It adds the same amount of cash period after period. But compound interest, that's a curve. It starts off kind of slow, but then it just accelerates, creating this growth that gets bigger and faster over time. And check this out. This is what that acceleration actually looks like with real money. You take a 100,000 peso investment. After 10 years, simple interest turns it into 160,000 pesos. Not bad. But compounding, that gets you to over 179,000. That extra 19,000 pesos didn't come from you. It came from your money making its own money. That is the power of compounding.
Okay, so we've got the growth part down. Now, let's circle back to our big question. Is something a good deal? To figure that out, we need tools that can measure profitability. And the two heavy hitters here are return on investment, or ROI, and net present value, NPV. First up, we've got ROI. This is your quick, back-of-the-napkin calculation. It's a beautifully simple metric. All you do is take what you gained, subtract what it costs you, and then divide that whole thing by the original cost. It really only answers one basic question. Did I make a profit? So imagine this. A company drops 50,000 pesos to launch an app. That app then generates 60,000 pesos in pure profit. The ROI is a nice, solid 20%. That means for every single peso they put in, they got that peso back plus an extra 20 centavos in profit. Sounds like a clear win, right? Or is it? And this right here is the huge blind spot for ROI. It totally, completely ignores time. I mean, a 20% return is awesome if you get it in 1 year. But if it takes 10 years to get that same 20%, yeah, not so great anymore, is it? And that leads us to maybe the single biggest rule in all of finance. A peso today is worth more than a peso tomorrow. And why is that? Well, because you can take that peso today and invest it, and it can start earning a return for you right now. This concept is called the time value of money, and it's the absolute key to making smarter decisions. So how do we actually deal with that? Well, we use our next tool, net present value, or NPV. You can think of NPV like a financial time machine. It takes all the money you expect to make in the future and tells you what all of it is worth in today's money. And the rule couldn't be simpler. If the NPV is positive, anything greater than 0, the investment gets the green light. Let's see this time machine in action. Imagine a project is going to give you 7,000 pesos next year.
To figure out its value today, we have to use something called a discount rate. Think of it like a hurdle rate. It's the bare minimum return we need to even consider this thing, let's say 10%. At that rate, that future 7,000 pesos is only worth about 6,363 pesos today. We've brought it back to its present value.
Okay, so this table lays it all out for us. We start with our 10,000 peso investment. That's a negative number because it's cash leaving our pocket. Then we take the cash flow from each year, discount each one back to what it's worth today, and then we just add it all up.
And, drumroll please, the final number? A positive 984.24 pesos. The NPV is greater than zero. This tells us that even after we account for the time value of money, this project is expected to be profitable. It's creating value. That means this project gets the green light. It's a go.
All right, so far we've been talking about investing, right? Putting money in. But these exact same ideas are at work when we're on the other side of the table. So let's flip the script and apply our toolkit to something most of us have dealt with, borrowing money.
This table is called an amortization schedule, and it shows you exactly where your loan payments go. For this 100,000 peso loan, I want you to notice the really important shift that happens over time. Look at year 1. A whopping 12,000 pesos is just poof, gone to interest. But by year 3, that drops all the way down to under 4,500 pesos. That's because as you pay down the principal, less of your payment gets eaten by interest, and more of your hard-earned cash is actually knocking down the debt.
Wow, okay, we have covered a ton of ground here, from the basics of simple interest all the way to the time value of money. So let's just take a quick second to organize our new toolkit and see how each tool helps us ask a much smarter, more specific question. So here's the bottom line. It's all about picking the right tool for the job. If you want to know how your money grows, you look at interest. For a quick, did I make a profit check, you use ROI. To make a truly smart decision that actually considers time, you absolutely need NPV. And to figure out where your loan payments are going, you look at that amortization schedule. You now have the right tool for each of these crucial questions. And there you have it. That's your starter financial toolkit. You are now officially equipped to translate the jargon, to analyze the numbers, and to make way more confident decisions. So the real question is, what are you going to build with it? What's the next big decision you're going to put to the test? Thanks so much for joining me.